Hi, my name is Nicole, and this is the CK Diary Podcast. Hi, everyone. I hope you had a great week. This week, I'm starting off the podcast with a giveaway. As a thank you for 300 subscribers on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be giving away the winner's choice of one mini sock project bag from my Etsy shop at the time that the winner is chosen. The only thing you have to do to enter this giveaway is comment down below what project you're working on today. All right, so let's dive in. This week, I am drinking a vanilla chai tea. It smells really, really good. I just poured the water and it's very hot, so I haven't taken a sip yet, but I do really love that tea. All right, let's start. I don't have any finished objects this week. I guess I kind of do, so I guess I'll start with that. It's not a knitting object, it's a sewn object. I made some of these yarn bowls for my shop. They're available now. I just posted them today. Today's Tuesday. This podcast will be up on Thursday as always. It's just a little yarn bowl. Your yarn cake, whenever it's full, will fit snugly inside. And then it works just like any other yarn bowl. It just kind of helps keep your yarn in one spot while you are knitting or crocheting. So I guess I'll start with this whip since it was in my project bowl, my yarn bowl. This is a hat I'm working on for my uncle. I talked about this in the last couple of weeks and I finally started it last week. The yarn that I'm using is from, oh gosh, I believe it's called the Coastal Collection. It's a yarn out of Australia, I believe. And this, I can't remember the name of the yarn, but I'll have it linked below. I do, however, know the content is wool, cashmere, and silk. And it is very, very soft. It kind of has this thick and thin kind of texture all throughout, and I really like it. The pattern that I'm doing is my bakery hat, I believe. And it is by M Knits, and I'll have all of that information down below. It will also be on my Ravelry. I am using, let's see, I believe I'm using 4mm needles. It's a 16-inch circular, and I'm really enjoying working it up. And the pattern's free too. I forgot to mention that. The pattern is free. All right, the other project I'm going to talk about is my sweater vest. You guys know I've been working on this for a couple of weeks now. I'm making some really good progress. I had my best friend's bridal shower here on Saturday, so this hasn't really seen a whole lot of work. She just left today, so I spent a lot of time with her on Friday and Saturday and Sunday and a little bit yesterday. So let's see. So this hasn't had much work done on it, but I'm pretty happy with where it's at. I still plan to finish this by the end of July. I don't think it should take me too much longer. And I have cast on a new pair of socks. I know I still have not finished the 9-inch circular socks. And you know, I said a couple podcasts ago, I was like, the 9-inch circulars are a game changer. I don't know if I'll ever go back to Magic Loop. But I found myself missing Magic Loop. There's something about, I know that I said the 9-inch circulars are quicker because I don't have to set up my rows, but there is something about setting up the rows that I enjoy, like just part of the process. I enjoy that part. And I didn't realize how much I enjoyed it until I didn't do it anymore. So I did cast this pair onto Magic Loop. This is a yarn from Emma's Yarn. I'll have all the information about it down below. I got this yarn, I shared it a few weeks ago. I got this yarn at Knit in Public Day for my boys. It's kind of like a Bluey yarn, you know, the TV show Bluey. They were obsessed with it. They still like it. They're not as obsessed with it. But we've kind of moved on to Curious George now. But this is the first sock. I've got the cuff done. I usually do 10 rounds for the cuff. I do knit 2, purl 2, And I usually do 10 rounds for their cuff, but I decided to do 8 this time just because I don't really like, I do 10 rounds for the cuff and then I do 15 rounds for the leg. Anything more than that, it's really a little too high for them, for their little legs. But I didn't really like the cuff to leg ratio. So I decided to do 8 for the cuff and then 15 for the leg. And we will see how that turns out. I cast on 48 stitches. I still use the vanilla sock pattern by Crazy Sock Lady. I just do a different count of stitches for their little tiny feet. And I will be making 2 pairs of socks out of this one skein of yarn. And I know it will work because I've done it before. I know I will have plenty. But that is really it this week for whips and finished objects. Same goals as last podcast. I'd like to make my Sophie shawl. I'd like to finish my uncle's hat, and I'd like to finish my sweater vest. And I don't really have anything else other than socks planned. And even socks, I'm still trying to find what pattern I'm going to do. I have had a couple of people send me some really great sock patterns. And I was talking to my husband about this yesterday. I have found that I really enjoy patterned things. So not just like vanilla knitting. Now my sweater vest, it is a lot of vanilla knitting. And I took a little break from that to do the My Bakery hat. Or my baker's, that's what it is. My baker's hat, not my bakery hat. It is my baker's hat. I knew I was saying something wrong there. And there's a lot of ribbing. So this section is knit one, purl one, and then this section is purl one, knit one. And I think after this, I'm just gonna be doing vanilla knitting, but I found that I really, really like doing purls, like not just doing the knit stitch the whole way through. And then I did those lacework washcloths a couple of weeks ago, and I really, really enjoyed having something different to do for every line in the pattern. And so I think I'm going to try a cabled sock. And I was planning on doing the rye, I think it's called the Rye Sweater by Tin Can Knits. I was planning on doing that for my first sweater, which I still probably should. But now I'm wondering if I want to try a simple cabled sweater. I feel like my whole point of starting this podcast was to encourage myself and to encourage other beginners to just make the things that they want to make, because you can always rip it out and start over. But I kind of just want to dive in and try a cabled sweater. So we will see how that goes. Now I will show you my acquisitions. Woo. We're having some storms. We had some storms yesterday, and we'll have some for the next couple of days, and the wind is really strong out there. So if you hear something like, it sounds like my front doors are about to knock down, it's the wind. So my friend and I, while she was here, we went to it's a little boutique in downtown St. Augustine called the Red Pineapple, and they had these really cute Little Women books there. I ended up ordering mine from Amazon because it was less than half the cost of what they were selling there. But I'm excited to put this on the shelf next to my Pride and Prejudice book. So cute. And there were a lot of other, I think it was all by this same illustrator. You see. I think the other ones that I was looking at from there were from this same illustrator, not this one, but they had an Anne of Green Gables, and I'm trying to think of the other ones that they had. They just had a lot of classics with this really beautiful illustration on the covers. That's really pretty too. All right, and for yarn, the reason why I'm showing that in my acquisitions is because I do keep it in my yarn room as decoration. All right, and when my best friend came down, I hosted her bridal shower, so she got me a little thank you gift, which was so sweet. She got me some yarn from Bliss Yarns in Nashville. She's from Tennessee, so she stopped in Nashville and got me some yarn from Bliss Yarns. This one was from a local Tennessean dyer. It says the base is their lunar fingering, and the colorway is blueberry pie. It is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 435 yards, and 100 grams. and it is from Raven Moon Dye Works. So pretty. Love it. And then one of my favorite dyers, Ruby and Roses. This is the Plump Rose, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon 2-ply fingering weight. It is 400 yards, 100 grams. Oh gosh, I don't know if I'm saying this right. Calliope. I don't even know what that is. I'm not sure what that is. Calliope? That is the colorway name. And it is so pretty. This is right up my alley. This is exactly what I like. My friend knows me well. It has pinks and purples, all different shades of pinks and purples. And then there's green, orange, yellow, red, all different colored speckles. You can see the speckles really well right there and right here. Oh, some blues. So pretty. So I'm excited to make socks out of that. That is probably what these will turn into. I talked about this some last week, but just in case some of you did not see it, Leah Gibson from Leah Loves to Knit is hosting a Gilmore Girls themed make-along. She does it every year. I believe this is her 4th year doing it, and I am making bags for it. This is the mini sock project bag. I will also have a sweater-sized version. The first day that these will be available is July 20th. That's when all of the bags, yarns, notions, that's when all of the things for the make-along will be ready to purchase. And then I plan to, just to gauge interest, see if people are wanting the sock project bags more or the sweater project bags more. Depending on what sells, I will be making more and doing another drop in the later months following that. The make-along is in November, so you will have plenty of time to get your Gilmore Girls themed things ready for the make-along. I'm super excited for that, and I am going to be rewatching the shows while we do that make-along. I forgot to mention at the beginning of my podcast, I'm wearing my Yarny Friend shirt from Katie's Randomness. That is her Instagram and her Etsy shop's name, and you can go find these there. I will link it down below for you. Don't forget to comment down below what you're making today to enter into the giveaway. Next week, I will draw the winner and announce it in the video, and I will reach out to you. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend full of making and relaxing, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.